the garden gate, beneath the winter sky, there lies a tiny wonder world that you might pass right by. The frost has kissed the clover, the dew has turned to ice, and everything within this realm is sugar sweet and nice. The snowflakes fall like giant clouds upon the mossy glen. Welcome to the magic land we call the PPM. Oh, it's Christmas time in PPM. Let the tiny bells ring out with a cheer and a chime and a joyous shout. From the roots of the oak to the tip of the fern, we have holiday love at every turn. King Dooney leads the singing, his heart is true and kind. A happier place than PPM you will never find. The ants are marching 2 by 2, but not to work today. They've traded in their heavy loads for sleds and time to play. They're hauling giant breadcrumbs to bake a festive treat, with acorn caps of hot cocoa that taste so warm and sweet. They build a castle made of snow, a fortress wide and tall, and decorate the entrance with a holly berry ball. The ladybirds are polishing their shells of bright red hue, contrasting with the winter white, a lovely sight to view. They fly amidst the falling flakes like ornaments on wing, buzzing harmony along to every song we sing. They hang the spider silk festoons across the frozen stream, making sure that PPM looks just like a dream. Oh, it's Christmas time in PPM. Let the tiny bells ring out with a cheer and a chime and a joyous shout. From the roots of the oak to the tip of the fern, we have holiday love at every turn. King Dooney leads the singing, his heart is true and kind. A happier place than PPM you will never find. The caterpillars wiggle in their sweaters made of wool, with 30 tiny stockings that they hope will soon be full. They're wrapping up the longest gifts with patience and with care, while excitement for the morning floats upon the chilly air. They inch along the icicles, careful not to slide, waiting for the moment when the treasure lies inside. Speak. It's time to play the famous game of winter hide and seek. Count to 10, 1, 2, 3. Don't you peek behind that tree. The ants dive in a snowbank deep. The ladybirds pretend to sleep. A caterpillar curls up tight, disappearing in the white. Laughter echoes round the bend, playing games with every friend. The sun begins to set behind the mushrooms in the west, and everyone in PPM knows this night is the best. Here comes the noble ruler, stepping softly on the ground. King Dooney waves his scepter and the crowd gathers around. He smiles upon the insects, on the large and on the small. Merry Christmas, my dear subjects!
Merry Christmas to you all!
He hands out gifts of gratitude, of joy and unity, celebrating friendship underneath the pine cone tree. Oh, it's Christmas time in PPM. Let the tiny bells ring out with a cheer and a chime and a joyous shout. From the roots of the oak to the tip of the fern, we have holiday love at every turn. King Dooney leads the singing, his heart is true and kind. A happier place than PPM you will never find. comes up over ppm, the stars begin to glow. Peace descends on ladybirds and ants beneath the snow. Sleep tight, little caterpillar, close your sleepy eyes until the Christmas morning sun begins to rise. Merry Christmas, ppm! Merry Christmas, King Dooney!
The clouds turned gray above the grass and covered up the green, and suddenly the world became the whitest ever seen. The tiny gates of ppm swung open wide today to let the winter magic in and start the holiday. Down in the roots and hollow logs the lights began to glow, reflecting off the icicles and dancing on the snow. Hail to the land where the little ones play, where worries and troubles all melt away, with a crown made of gold and a heart made of glee. King Dooney rules over the frost and the tree. Oh, nothing is brighter, no king, no kingdom is gem, like the Christmas that sparkles in sweet ppm. The ants are usually busy with a serious marching face, but Christmas turns the colony into a happy place. They link their 6 legs in a line to form a living sleigh, and slide down frozen mushroom caps, laughing all the way. They're carrying the presents wrapped in petals soft and bright, to stack them by the fireplace to open up tonight. The ladybirds have gathered round to decorate the spruce. They're sipping on a warm cup of sweet honeysuckle juice. They fly up to the highest branch to place a shiny star that guides the weary travelers coming from afar. Their polka-dotted wings look like confetti in the air, spreading joy and Christmas cheer to neighbors everywhere. Hail to the land where the little ones play, where worries and troubles all melt away, with a crown made of gold and a heart made of glee. King Dooney rules over the frost and the tree. Oh, nothing is brighter, no kingdom is gem, like the Christmas that sparkles in sweet ppm. Now look at all the caterpillars rolling in a ball. They don't mind if the weather gets a little chill and squall. They're knitting tiny mittens for their many tiny feet, and dreaming of the candy canes they can't wait to eat. They wiggle through the powder, making tunnels deep and long, humming out the melody of King Dooney's favorite song. But hush now for a moment, put the sleigh bells on the ground. It is time for the greatest game that can be found. One ant closes up his eyes and leans against a stone, and suddenly the courtyard is quiet and alone. He shouts out loud, I'm coming, are you ready or are you not? I'm going to find the hiding place of every single child. A ladybird is hiding disguised as a holly berry red, a caterpillar buried deep inside a snowy bed. King Dooney hides behind a leaf and tries to hold his breath, while giggles ripple through the wind upon the winter heath. You cannot find me someone shouts, "I'm invisible," you see. But then they tumble out in fits of laughter and of glee. Hail to the land where the little ones play, where worries and troubles all melt away, with a crown made of gold and a heart made of glee. King Dooney rules over the frost and the tree. Oh, nothing is brighter, no kingdom is gem, like the Christmas that sparkles in sweet PPM. The game is done, the sun is gone, the moon is high and white. King Dooney calls his subjects in to warm up for the night. The presents are all open now, the toys are scattered round. A peace has settled softly on the frozen festive ground. The ants, the birds, the crawling things are sleeping distinct and sound in the happy land of Peepin', where love is always flame.
The frost painted patterns on the blades of sleeping grass, and turn the morning dewdrops into beads of shining glass. If you look between the roots where the ancient oak trees grow, you will find a secret kingdom hidden deep beneath the snow. The land is called PPM, and the magic here is strong, where the holidays are celebrated with a happy song. The air is crisp and chilly, but the hearts are warm and light, as everyone prepares to make the season shine so bright. King Dooney sits upon his throne made out of pine and bark. He lights the tiny lanterns to chase away the dark. He smiles at all his subjects with a kindness in his eyes, for he has planned a holiday of wonder and surprise. He tells the little creatures that the year has been so good, and peace and laughter echo through the tiny winter wood. There is no king as gentle, and there is no land as fair, with the smell of roasting chestnuts floating on the chilly air. The ants are usually marching in a straight and serious line, but today they're hauling presents beneath the towering pine. They lift the heavy boxes with a strength that is unmatched, ensuring every rib and bough is perfectly attached. They're carrying the parcels for their friends across the stream, fulfilling every holiday and winter festive dream. They stack them in a pyramid that reaches to the sky, while watching for the sleigh bells with a hopeful glistening eye. The ladybirds are flying with their wings of spotted red, delivering the invitations to the feast ahead. They carry tiny bundles wrapped in silver spider silk, and sip on mugs of honey mixed with warm and creamy milk. They land upon the presents to ensure they are secure. Their joy for giving gifts is sweet and absolutely pure. They buzz a Christmas carol as they decorate the place, bringing smiles of happiness to every little face. The caterpillars wiggle with a secret they can't keep. They have so many presents that are piled in a heap. They knitted 40 sweaters for the ants to keep them warm, and built a shelter sturdy from the coming winter storm. They're inching toward the stocking pile with excitement in their wiggle, and every time they see a gift they let out quite a giggle. They cannot wait to give the things they made with so much care, to show the other animals how much they love and share. But before the paper rips and before the ribbons fly, King Dooney calls for games beneath the cloudy winter sky. It is time for hide and seek, the favorite game of all, where tiny creatures vanish near the garden waterfall. The ants dig tunnels in the drifts to disappear from sight. The ladybirds tuck in their wings and shut their eyes so tight. A caterpillar curls himself to look just like a stone, while King Dooney counts to 10 upon his wooden throne.
Ready or not, I'm coming! The king begins to shout.
He searches every hollow log and every water spout. He finds the giggling beetles and he finds the hiding ants. He finds a caterpillar trying to hide inside some plants. The laughter rings like silver bells across the frozen glade. The best and distinctly happy game that they have ever played. Nobody minds being found when the seeker is the king, for losing in the land of PPM is such a joyful thing. And now the moment comes at last, the sun begins to fade. How the one gathers round the tree in the center of the glade. It is time for giving presents hand to hand and heart to heart, This is where the magic of the Christmas season starts. An ant gives a ladybird a polished piece of grain. A ladybird gives shelter from the wind and from the rain. The caterpillars give their wool, the king gives out his love, while snow begins to gently fall from the gray clouds above. The wrapping paper crinkles and the thank yous fill the air. There is no greed in PPM, there is only love to share.
The north wind whistles softly through the tall and frozen grass, and turns the morning dewdrops into beads of shining glass. If you look beneath the hedge where the garden shadows fall, you will find the land of PPM, the happiest of all. The snow is piling high against the mushroom castle gate, where the little creatures gather and they can hardly wait, for the calendar has turned and the day is finally here to celebrate the spirit of the closing of the year. King Dooney stands upon a rock, his royal cape is blue. He waves to every citizen, the many and the few. He calls the ants to gather round, he calls the ladybirds, and speaks of joy and friendship with his kind and gentle words. My friends, he says, the work is done, put all your tools away. There are no heavy leaves to lift on this glorious Christmas day. We have presents wrapped in petals and a feast of honey stew, but first we have some games to play before the day is through. The ants are the first to run, skipping on the ice, checking on the present pile and shaking boxes twice. They whisper to each other about what fits inside. Is it a sled? Is it a ball? Is it a beetle ride? They've worked so hard all summer long to build the stores of grain, but now they dance like children in the snowy winter lane. Their tiny mandibles are curved into a happy grin, waiting for the holiday excitement to begin. Then waddle in the caterpillars, fuzzy, long and slow, leaving distinct tracks behind them in the powder snow. They have a distinct trouble that the others do not face. Putting winter boots on 20 feet is quite a race. But once they're warm and bundled up in scarves of yellow thread, they dream of sugar plums and leaves dancing in their head. They wiggle and they wobble with a joy they can't contain, looking for their stockings hanging free of wind and rain. The ladybirds are dazzling with their spots of midnight black, with tiny sacks of gifts upon each little shiny back. They flit around the pine cones like lanterns in the sky, singing Christmas carols as they flutter and they fly. They land upon King Dooney's arm and wish him holiday cheer. The finest king of PPM, the ruler distinct and dear. The red against the white of snow is beautiful to see as they decorate the branches of the tiny Christmas tree. But now the shout goes out aloud, a challenge has been made to play the greatest game of all within the snowy glade. It is time for hide and seek. The king begins to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. His voice rings down the mount. The ants all dive into the drifts. The beetles crouch down low, the caterpillars flatten out and let the snowflakes blow. ppm is silent now, not a creature stirs, hidden behind icicles and buried in the firs. Ready or not, here I come. The king begins the quest. He checks the east, he checks the north, the south, and then the west. He finds a giggling ladybird beneath the holly leaf. He finds a happy caterpillar shaking with relief. He pulls an ant from out a hole, laughing all the while. And soon the group is back again, wearing every smile. The winner gets an extra gift, a treat of nectar sweet, as everyone gathers around to warm their hands and feet. The evening stars begin to shine above the garden wall, the greatest Christmas of them all. For creatures big and small, King Dooney raises up a toast to friends and family in the magical and hidden land of lovely ppm. May your stockings be overflowing and your hearts be light and gay. Merry Christmas to the insects on this happy holiday.
The winter wind has woven coats of white for every tree, and sparkling ice has crusted over every puddled sea. The world is silent, waiting for the morning light to break, but in the land of ppm the friends are wide awake. For in this secret kingdom where the clover usually grows, the spirit of the holiday is dancing on the toes of every tiny creature living underneath the bright and wondrous starry canopy of this December night.
King Dooney walks among them with a lantern in his hand to light the way for visitors across his frozen land.
His voice is warm like cocoa and his smile is full of cheer. He says hello to everyone who gathers distinct and near. He checks the tiny chimneys and he sweeps the snowy mat. He stops to fix a ribbon on a ladybird silk hat. For Dooney is a ruler who loves nothing more than fun, and seeing happy faces on his subjects everyone.
The ants have ceased their marching and they put the work aside to build a giant toboggan for a wild and slippery ride. They pile on together, maybe 50 in a row, and scream with delight as they go flying down the snow.
But when the ride is over, they have heavy jobs to do. They're hauling giant presents wrapped in shades of royal blue. They lift the boxes overheads and march them to the tree, ensuring that the morning brings a gift for you and me.
The ladybirds are hovering like rubies in the air, descending on the festive scene with grace and distinct flair.
They use their tiny spotted backs to push the snow away, clearing out a circle where the band begins to play. They hang the mistletoe upon the spider's silver thread and tuck the little beetle bugs into their mossy bed. They whisper hints of presents that are hidden out of sight and fill the freezing atmosphere with warmth and golden light.
The golden light.
The caterpillars giggle as they try to make a run, but running with a dozen legs is never easily done. They trip and tumble softly into mountains made of fluff, but getting snowy powder on their coats is not enough. They roll around until they look like snowballs on the ground, the silliest and happiest of friends that can be found. They dream of butterfly wings, but for now they are content to celebrate the winter time and all the joy it meant.
But wait, the king is waving and he calls the group to halt. He stands upon a pebble made of grey and shiny basalt. It's time for hide and seek, he laughs, I'm going to count to 10, and chaos strikes the happy crowd of ppm again.
The ants run to the pine cones and the ladybirds fly high to hide behind the icicles suspended from the sky. The caterpillars burrow down beneath the frozen leaves, while King Dooney covers up his eyes with his velvet sleeve.
5, 6, 7, 8, the king shouts out the sound.
He starts to search the bushes and he looks along the ground. He spots a little antenna emerging from the white. He hears a stifled giggle in the crisp and cold twilight. He finds them one by one and drags them laughing from the snow. Faces flushed with happiness and winter's rosy glow. The game is done, the winners cheer, the losers hug the king, and everyone gathers together's closer for the presents and to sing. The boxes are all open now, the paper ripped away, revealing toys and tasty treats to use on Christmas Day. A scarf for every caterpillar, boots for every ant, a shiny shell polished for the ladybirds who can't stop smiling at the generosity of King Dooney's heart, who knew exactly what to give and knew just where to start. The moon is high, the night is deep, the land is calm and still, as peace descends on PPM upon the winter hill.